Hello everyone, we are days away from the second half of version 6.2, and let's be real, the pressure is on. You have Varesa and Xilonen staring you down, and your stash might be looking a little thin after the first half. Maybe you spent everything on the weapon banner, or maybe you just have bad luck. But here is the good news. By the end of this video, you will have a clean number, an honest plan, and a solid idea of whether your stash can stretch to get the unit you actually need. Here is the problem a lot of travelers face right around this time of the patch. You look at the calendar, you see the days ticking down, and you get that sinking feeling. You think the big rewards are gone because the main version hype is over. The Archon quest is done and the mail is empty. That mindset is exactly why people miss out on characters. They stop grinding because they think it's pointless. They assume the second half of a patch is a desert with no water. But that is not true. The second half is where the steady, consistent players win. It is not about one big jackpot. It is about 100 small wins that add up to a 5-star character. We need to look at every single source, from the obvious ones to the sneaky web events that 90% of players forget to claim. Looking for the best way to recharge in Genshin Impact? Loot Bar is the smarter choice. It works exactly like the in-game top-up, but it's way more affordable. New users get 10% off with the link in the pinned comment, and users can receive an additional 5% discount coupon. Loot Bar also has special deals on crystal packs, including the 6480 bundle, and even an all-in-one package with everything you need. See this? The regular $100 pack only costs $80 on Loot Bar. The process is simple and secure. You don't need your password or login. Just enter your UID, pick your server, choose your pack, and your crystals are delivered in seconds. Players around the world trust Loot Bar because it's fast, safe, and affordable. So don't waste your money. Click the link in the description or pinned comment and start saving on your top-ups today. Loot Bar, safe, fast, and way more affordable. Now, for a quick reminder about the new giveaways. Both of the 6480 Genesis Crystals giveaways are active right now and will stay open until December 31st. I'll be announcing the winners on January 1st. All you need to do is be subscribed, watch all the videos, and comment your UID and region. Let's start with the bread and butter of your income, daily commissions. I know, nobody likes doing them every single day. It feels like a chore, but this is the backbone of any savings plan. There are 21 days inside Phase 2. If you show up every day, do your 4 commissions, and talk to Catherine, that is 1,260 PRIMOGEMS. It doesn't look like much day to day, but that is nearly 8 pulls just for logging in and hitting a few hilichurls. It is the most reliable chunk of gems you can get, so don't skip a single day. Next up, we have the Paimon Shop Reset. This happens on the 1st of the month, right smack in the middle of our target window. If you have been pulling it all recently, you should have enough Stardust lying around. Buying out those 5 intertwined fates is a no-brainer. That is 800 PRIMOGEMS worth of value instantly. If you are low on Stardust, make sure you do not waste it on monster materials. Save it for the fates. It is essentially free money. Then there is the Imaginarium Theater. I know a lot of you have mixed feelings about this mode. It restricts your teams, it forces you to build characters you might not like, and sometimes the RNG just messes up your run. But it resets once during the back half of this update. That is an easy 1,000 PRIMOGEMS if you clear it. And here is a tip. You don't need to sweat for the platinum medals or the high scores if you are just here for the gems. Just focus on getting the clear. Borrow a strong friend's unit if your roster is lacking. Even if you only push through the basic difficulties, you are securing the bulk of the rewards. Do not leave 1,000 gems on the table just because the mode is a little annoying. That is 6 pulls right there. Now, I need to clarify something about the Abyss and the Stygian Onslaught to keep this math honest. Stygian Onslaught already reset a few days ago in Phase 1. Those gems belong to the past. We can't count them for the future. The same goes for the Spiral Abyss. The next reset happens in a day or two, but Phase 2 doesn't start for over a week. So, that clean 800 falls outside our target window. I'm telling you this so you don't get your hopes up expecting extra pulls that won't be there. We are only counting what you can actually get during the Xilonen and Varesa banners. Let's talk about the actual content, the quests. The main story for version 6.2 usually drops a total of 590 PRIMOGEMS plus 2 pulls, which is roughly 910 total value. Now, I know the hardcore players among you probably finished this on day 1, but looking at the stats, a huge portion of the player base hasn't finished every single branch of the story yet. People have jobs, school, and lives. To keep this fair, I'm budgeting 200 gems here as a realistic leftover amount for the average player. If you already cleared absolutely everything, you can subtract this. If you haven't started the quest at all, you can add about 700 to your total. Adjust this number based on how lazy you've been with the story. There are also the smaller world quests. You know the ones, those blue exclamation marks that pop up after you finish a big chain, or the mini quest lines that appear in your journal. Together, those usually add up to around 135 gems. It's not a fortune, but it fills the pity bar inch by inch. Every gem counts when you are at 75 pity and desperate for gold. Now let's get to the fun part, events. This is where the second half of the patch really shines. The main event, Soul Blazer Snowbound Journey, officially starts on December 19th. While a tiny slice of it opens in Phase 1, the vast majority of the stages and rewards land squarely in Phase 2. We are calculating roughly 700 PRIMOGEMS from this event alone. But it's not just about the gems. This event is giving away a free 4-star bow and enough materials to refine it to rank 5. For newer accounts or free-to-play players, a free R5 weapon is huge. Even if you don't need it right now, lock it and save it. You never know when a new character will drop who needs exactly those stats. Right after that, we jump into Saurian Brawl from December 29th to January 7th. This is your classic combat event. It's usually quick, straightforward, and fun. You jump in, beat up some enemies with special buffs, and get paid. This event is a quick 420 PRIMOGEMS. It is the perfect palate cleanser after a long day. It's fast and it's worth doing. Then, we have the one thing everyone forgets, the web event. Do not miss Memories of the Moon. It runs from December 31st to January 13th and is worth 160 gems. I cannot tell you how many people lose these gems because they simply don't check their in-game mail or their browser. It takes 2 minutes. You click a link, tap a few buttons, maybe share a picture, and you are done. It is the easiest income you will get all patch. Set a reminder on your phone right now if you have to. And then comes my personal favorite, the return of the absolute legend, Lieben. Marvelous merchandise runs from January 5th to January 12th. If you are new to the game, Lieben is a guy with a pompadour and a backpack full of dreams. You find him in the city, you give him some trash you have lying around like sweet flowers or apples, and he gives you PRIMOGEMS. That's it. No fighting, no puzzles, no stress. It is 280 easy PRIMOGEMS. Lieben is a fan favorite for a reason. His event feels like a mini festival. You log in, chat with him, get your loot, and get out. It's a comfy tradition. We also have the version 6.3 special program livestream happening during this window. That means 3 redemption codes. These codes are worth 100 gems each for a total of 300. But here is the catch. They expire incredibly fast, usually in less than 48 hours. On top of that, there is usually at least one extra 60 gem code floating around the internet during the version update. So we are banking 360 gems here from codes alone. Finally, we have the small drips. Character test runs for the banner units will give you 40 gems, and other tiny login rewards or maintenance compensations usually land around 135 gems across the back half. It's small change, but it adds up. So, let's put all these numbers together into a clean list for you. If you are taking notes, here is the breakdown. Daily commissions give you 1,260. The Paimon Shop Reset gives you 800. Imaginarium Theater gives you 1,000. Main story leftovers account for 300. Smaller world quests add 135. The Soul Blazer Snowbound Journey event brings 700. Saurian Brawl adds 420. The Memories of the Moon Web event brings 160. Lieben's Marvelous Merchandise adds 280. The livestream codes and extras give you 360. Character trials and tiny extras add another 135. That brings the total free-to-play count for Phase 2 to exactly 5,500 PRIMOGEMS. That is about 34 pulls. Now, if you are a Welkin Moon spender, the math gets even better. You get 90 gems a day for those 21 days. That adds another 1,890 gems on top of the free pile. That raises your total to 7,390 PRIMOGEMS. That is roughly 46 pulls. That is almost a soft pity. If you have been saving even a little bit during the first half, you are practically guaranteed a 5-star. But knowing the number is only half the battle, the real question is, who gets those pulls? This is where the anxiety kicks in. The leaked 4 stars for the second half are Gaming and Chevreuse. That is a very solid pair. Gaming is a fantastic DPS if you invest in him, and Chevreuse is the queen of overload teams. But the 5 stars are the main event. You have a choice to make: Xilonen versus Varesa. Let's look at Xilonen first. In my honest opinion, if you care about the long-term power of your account, Xilonen is just good and one of the most universal buffers in the game right now. She fits into almost any team without weird conditions. You don't need a specific element to make her work. You hit her skill, you do 2 hits, and you enjoy massive resistance shred and healing with her burst. You feel the difference immediately? She makes your average teams good. If you are struggling with the Abyss or the Theater, she is the solution. On the other hand, we have Varesa. She is a very strong electro-main damage dealer with a unique plunge-heavy rhythm. She is flashy, she is fast, and she hits hard. She can absolutely compete with the top-tier damage dealers when you get comfortable with her timing. But she has a learning curve. You need to get used to the plunge mechanics, the canceling, and the flow. For a lot of players, that learning curve turns into fun muscle memory. It feels rewarding to master her. But she is a DPS, and DPS characters get power crept faster than supports. If you are saving for version 6.3 and beyond, use this number 5500 to hold the line. You know exactly what is coming in. You don't need to panic pull. You can skip with confidence knowing your stash is growing. There is no wrong answer when you plan with clear eyes. The worst thing you can do is rage pull on a banner you don't want just because you feel lucky. Stick to the plan. We are all trying to get the most out of this game without going broke. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Take these 5,500 gems, put them in your pocket, and spend them on something that makes you happy to log in. Whether that's the meta-breaking support or the cool plunge attacker, make sure it's your choice. Subscribe if you want to win your next 50-50. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.